Next up in the beer characteristics section is astringency. Astringency in beer. Astringency in beer comes across as a mouth-puckering, drying sensation that's been likened to the same sensation as chewing grape skins or sipping over-steeped black tea. There are a couple of causes for astringency in the brewing process. First is grain processing. Over-crushing our grains and over-sparging our grains can lead to tannin extraction from the grain husks, adding astringency. Water pH and temperature can also add astringency. Water with a pH higher than 6.0 or a temperature higher than 107 degrees Fahrenheit for sparging will lend to more tannin extraction. Water composition can also play a role in the astringency in beer. High sulfate or high magnesium levels can enhance the perception of astringency. There are some additional sources of astringency. Astringency can come from spoilage. Acetobacter or wild yeast contaminations release polyphenols that lead to an astringent taste in beer. Oxidation in beer also produces polyphenols along with the aldehydes that also contribute to astringency. Some adjuncts or spices like coriander, orange peel, and cinnamon can add astringency to the beer in its early stages. This does tend to mellow out over time, however. There are some factors that can contribute to the perception of astringency being higher than it actually is. Over-attenuation of the fermentable sugars in a beer or just a low dextrin level in the finished beer can create a thinner body that intensifies that astringent character in the beer. As far as astringency being appropriate or inappropriate for a beer style, it's generally inappropriate and undesirable. That's why it's added to our list of all flavors. But as always, there are some exceptions. In an American IPA, a light astringency character can be considered appropriate as long as it's not distracting or harsh. Dark ales such as American stouts and porters are allowed and expected to have low levels of astringency due to the use of the roasted malts. And a Flanders red ale has an expected low to medium astringency character. The astringency beer character in summary. Astringency is generally considered a flaw, but it is acceptable in specific styles. Careful control of mash pH, sparge temperature, and oxidation can help minimize unwanted astringency. And if we perceive any astringency in a beer on our judging/tasting exam, an example of a note we might want to add in the overall impression could be, use mineral additions thoughtfully and manage wort processing to prevent excessive tannin extraction. Okay, that's it for this lesson. Let's move on to the next characteristic.